Well, look here. Guess who's number one in the Nielsen ratings again?
97.7.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. We got to be on our game right now because we have got a big-time professional all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Dove Award winner, was on the Nashville Network with the Primetime Country, was producer of Music Mafia on CMT, was along with Gone Country, songwriter, mentor, Big Kenny, and all that good stuff. And he is big-time friends with Johnny Bitcoin, who wrote the song Take This Jab and Shove It. Good morning, Gary Chapman.
Good morning.
I hear music.
I'm tired of not having to play on music. I'm doing my own this morning.
Beautiful.
What's up?
Man, we're just riding the wind, man. We're just sitting up here trying to get all our vaccines shot into us, and I know you're all...
Yeah, please do. Please
Yeah.
do. Yes. Take all those jabs and shove them.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, that song has really took off.
You know, it's funny. It's you know how radio goes. It's hard.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything quite like this. Let's say the corporate machine is not necessarily on track
Right.
to help us, but it's okay. The people that need to hear it are hearing it and enjoying it, and that's good for me. That works.
Well, that's great, man. I ain't kidding you, man. Now you've got it up on your YouTube channel now too, so they can go to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Now you also got a website set up, right?
We do. TakeThisJab.com. Just get over there and get yourself a shirt, hear the song, buy the song. That never happens anymore, but hey, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's T-shirts and coffee mugs and you name it, we got it. We've even got a mask. In fact, I got so much. Can you say crap on the radio?
Yeah,
I'm not
say it.
sure.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
So much crap. We've got a mask that is the graphics for the shirt, and it's Joe Biden with a big syringe and it says take this jab, whatever.
Golly.
Man, I had so many people so mad at me. Now, not nearly as many as thought it was actually very funny. I mean, if you got to wear one to get on a plane anyway, why not say something with it, right? So, yeah. A lot of people are getting those masks. A lot of people.
I had a guy the other day said, look, with all the stuff that I say, like Let's Go Brandon and all that, he said, I don't see why some of these liberal people don't kill you, But I'm sitting there thinking it's less than 30% of the people like Biden. So I feel like, I'm kind of...
Your odds are much, much better.
Yeah.
And besides that, they're not going to.
Right.
They're not. They're mostly just mouth.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. Now
and the ones that aren't have usually don't have a lot of courage.
I keep up with you, Gary. A lot of stuff that you've done. Primetime Country. You were on that for how many years was you on that?
I think about 4.5 years,
Right.
something like that.
And I kind of figured out because we tried to get Tom Wopat on the show, but he won't come on. I think it's because you're on the show and
he's scared.
Yeah, you kicked
He's
him.
scared.
You kicked him off of Primetime Country. But one of the interviews you were doing, you were back with Alan Jackson. He had a new album coming out or whatever. Now we're talking, and you actually talked about running for president. Is that still on the table?
No, nowhere close. No, I do have a platform though.
Mm-hmm.
I do, and it actually makes sense. If I ever were to run for president in particular,
right,
I would make sure that a law got passed that you had to grow up in a small town, nothing over 5,000 people. Period. You have to, because in a small town you can steal something, but then you're a thief.
right,
And you can run around on your wife, but then you're the guy that I can't leave my wife with, right? There's a responsibility, there's accountability. You can't avoid it because there's community. People know each other. So you grow up like that. So you acquire that kind of value system. Now, when you get old enough to leave and then you want to go to the big city and pursue your dream, get after it. If you happen to fall in love and get married, get after it. If you have a baby, you got to go back to that town because that kid's got to grow up in a small town too. It would kind of take all the focus out of the cities and put it back on the things that matter. Now, it sounds silly, but I think that's where we're headed, quite frankly. I think it's the great ruralization. That's a very hard word to say that I just made up.
that's a beautiful word
of America.
But we know all
'Cause
about that because people are moving.
That's what matters, man. Small towns, that's what
right with
happens.
you.
That's where it's at.
People are moving to this area, the small towns, as hard as they can. It's unreal. I mean, over the years, and used to, back in the people would come up here there in the summertime, they go back home in the winter because they lived like in Florida, this, that, and the other. Now they're not. They're staying here 24/7. They're here 365. They're not don't want to go back.
I think people are really starving for that sense of community. You're spot on.
I don't know, man. I just we had Carmelea Harris. What's the crazy Kamala Harris says U.S. will be off the map as a role model if voting rights bill is sunk. We're going to be off the map as a role. Do you think we're right now? I mean, in the past year, all this going on. Do you think we're still a role model?
I don't think we're on the map now in that regard by any stretch of the imagination. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm not a hardcore Republican. I'm really not.
Right.
But both the parties it sicken me for the most part right now.
I can't
It's
tell
just
them
so
apart.
corrupt and everybody's bought and paid for. There's some exceptions. There's some good people, but by and large, what a mess. So this is not a political thing. But if I was on the other side, good grief, I'd be scared. You got this guy, bless his heart. I feel sorry for him. I don't have anything against him. I'm mad at his family. I'm mad at all the people that control him, but he has no business being in that position, never did, and they knew it. And her, that cackling, are you kidding me? How could she possibly run this country? Not a chance.
She could run it right into the
I know
ground.
I can't.
Yeah,
but very, very quickly. But honestly, I think that's the plan. I think they want to tear it down. I think they want it to come down because then they can rebuild it in their image. No, thank you. No.
I'm with you, man. And I'm like you. I'm really not a Republican. I guess I am because that's all I can register as. But I'm conservative.
Exactly.
I'm conservative. And I just think, I am very conservative. Just like I think that welfare should be just like unemployment. I think it ought to be on 3 months or 4 months. And if you can't get up on, I mean, everybody's needing people to work right now. Nobody go to work.
Yeah.
And if you got, and this is kind of putting out there, but I think if you're on food stamps and welfare and the government is keeping you up, I don't think you ought to not be able to have cigarettes. You ought to have beer, and you shouldn't have pets. Because if you can't feed yourself, how can you feed dogs? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is that kind of.
That I've never even thought that, but yeah, logically, yeah, here we're going.
Yeah.
Again, get back to the small town. There's always people in a small town that are down on their luck. Guess who takes care of them?
The churches.
Their friends, their neighbors, the churches. The church doing what the church is supposed to do fixes most social issues.
Yeah,
it does. And again, I am a Jesus guy on stun. Jesus is king. That ain't ever going to change. That's what it's all about for me. But churches, by and large, are a mess. They're just as corrupt, just as nasty as any other big organization, especially the big ones to a large degree.
Well, if I was going to be a preacher, I'd want to be on one of them big churches. I guarantee it, man. I won't.
That's where all the cash is.
Yeah.
You know what? I go to it. I go to a big church. And when we moved to this neighborhood and I started looking around, we drove by it. And my wife's like, no. No. But I knew the pastor. I'd known him for years. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go check it out. The first Sunday I was there, it's great music, believe it or not, in Nashville, really good music. He's brilliant, sweet man, great speaker. At the end of the service, he did something that I've come now to find out it's quite common. He said, listen, we have a need. We have a lot of special needs kids in our congregation, and we need to build a what do they call it? A sensory room for them. And it's going to cost us about $50,000. So we need to get that done. And I watched in about 10 seconds that money come in. We have a special needs daughter.
Yes, you do.
And I was sitting there going, okay, God, I'm an idiot, but I can hear. So we started going, they're completely debt free, don't owe any money.
Right.
And the money that comes in, it goes out to, at this point, 28 different organizations locally and internationally all over the place. It's all about giving. It's not about taking in and hoarding. Man, you got to let it go. Money is to move. Money is not yours to hold on to. Let it go.
Yeah, you can't. I let mine go. I guarantee it. Folks, we're talking to
See,
Gary
me
Chapman.
too.
Go to Gary Chapman, singer-songwriter on Facebook. You're going to love all the stuff that he posts on there. Honestly, you have to go. It's one of my go-tos. It's like at the top of I think I'm your biggest fan on your page.
You are, by far.
I think so.
You're in big trouble.
It's a little embarrassing.
Well, yeah. So you know something about like our church, you get the preacher gets up there and he says, okay, ever head bowed and ever eye closed and nobody looking around. Do you look around? Do you like
You're
peep?
looking around. I'm always looking around.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, guess who else is looking around?
My wife.
God's looking around.
My wife's like, shut your eyes.
No, God's looking around. And I'm supposed to be like him, right? So yeah, I'm looking around.
So we got another song coming. I mean, we got Take This Jab.
Dude, yes, there actually are a couple parked in the wings that Johnny's going to cut, I think.
Yeah, Johnny.
Did you hear my remake of Tennessee Christmas?
I did. I really did. I'm not kidding. I listened to it. I'll tell you what, do you feel, I know it's a little bit after Christmas, but can we take a short break and you play us a tune?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hold on. We're about halfway through. We got to take a short break. Ed, that's your cue.
Okay.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish. All righty, folks, we're back with you. We got Gary Chapman, singer-songwriter, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, double award winner, and gosh, the list just goes on and on. And Gary, I've got to tell you this. Before you came on, we got Mr. Ed over here, and I told him, I said, be very nice because you're super liberal and you get your feelings hurt.
And since I've already pissed off 90% of our liberals in our radio, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say that.
No,
I upset most of our liberals that are on the radio, listen to our station. They had me going, but I got to tell you, brother, you're right in there with me. Yeah. Except you're a little bit more conservative. I was going to give people 15 to 20,000 in the town.
You know what? That number is a moving target, I admit, but it's got to be small enough that you can't hide. Whatever that number is, that's what it's got to be.
I agree.
All right, man, you gonna play what tune you gonna play us?
Well, I've got a song I wrote years and years ago, Tennessee Christmas.
Okay.
Maybe you've heard it.
Yep.
And I was singing it this year, always if I go to a party or something, hey, do Tennessee Christmas. So the first time I did it, it occurred to me that I could not keep doing it as it was. If you don't know the song, the long story short, first verse is, hey, sure wish we had a white Christmas. It's not going to snow here. Maybe we should go to Colorado. First chorus, nah, let's stay home. Tennessee Christmas. Second verse is, maybe we should go to California. It's warm out there. They've got a parade. We'll come back with a tan. Let's go to LA. And the second chorus is, no, let's stay home in Tennessee. Well, I got to the second verse this year, and I was like, I can't sing this. It's just not true. I don't know anybody who wants to go to LA.
No.
Quite the contrary. So I rewrote it, and with a little help from my wife actually wrote the very best line in the second verse. So you'll know it when you hear it. And I'm actually singing this on the Newsmax New Year's Eve special.
Okay.
So
here we go.
You want the whole song or just the second verse and chorus? I don't know how much time you have.
Yeah, we got, what is it, 3 minutes? So yeah, we're cool.
All right. Come on, weatherman, give us a forecast, snowy white. Can't you hear the prayers of every child like home tonight? Rockies are calling, Denver snow falling. Somebody said it's 4 feet deep. It doesn't matter, give me the laughter. I'm gonna choose to keep another tender Tennessee Christmas. The only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts around our tree. Well, I know there's more snow up in Colorado my roof will ever see, but a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Every now and then I get a wandering urge to see. Florida is calling, maybe Christmas beach for me. No mask required, no one gets fired. The Santa's Claus waits there for me. Sure sounds exciting, awfully inviting. Still, I think I'm gonna keep another tender Tennessee Christmas, the only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts around our tree. Well, I know, well, it's warm on the beach, margarita in reach, and the kids are running free. But a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me.
All right. I love the no mask required. Okay.
No one gets fired. DeSantis Claus waits there for me. My wife came up with DeSantis Claus. I was like, okay, that's perfect.
Okay. Who came up with the margarita on the beach?
Well, that would be me, obviously.
I love it, man. No doubt about it. So, okay, Christmas is over with. We got New Year's. Do you do New Year's resolutions?
You know, I did one about 25 years ago. I made a resolution to never make another resolution, and it's the only one I've ever kept.
I'm with you on that. They say like 90% of the people don't even keep the resolutions, but one of the things
You know what?
out,
I resolved. I actually, and this is not. I'm not holier than thou. And if you know me well, you know I'm not. But I resolve every morning that the mercy of God is at my disposal because of Jesus, and I blaze through life as much as I can with that fact in the front of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the one resolve that actually has done me some good.
Mm-hmm. One of the things, though, Gary, of course, we ain't going to talk about all the not public, what is it? The magazines with all your face on it where it says, oh, Gary Chapman did this back years ago, but you've lived it.
Oh, no,
man.
we can talk about that. I love, no, you know what? At this point, that's one of the beautiful things about getting old. I'll be 65 this next year,
right?
And which is weird as it could possibly be to me.
Hey, that's a good thing, man.
I feel so 12, it's ridiculous.
Right.
But the reality is, just Google my name,
right,
and read it all. Half of it's true, and half of it is absolute crap. And you believe whichever part you want.
Right.
I absolutely don't care.
Right. You
so
got some
get after it.
You got some neat stuff though, man. You've been involved with everything. I don't think there's nobody. I mean, sometimes I'll interview people down here and I'll send you a text because I ain't got a clue who it is, and you're like, okay, this is is there anybody you don't know?
There are people I do not know. There are.
Right.
They're mostly on other continents, but yeah.
You've done some, I still watch that Primetime Country. It's on YouTube. A lot of that stuff.
I've actually got another. I've had 3 credible TV gigs come in the door in the past month.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll pop back on. Not television. I mean, television's dead, but
right.
The online OTT they call them, over the top.
Right.
Those operations.
Well, you're definitely a professional with that because you make the show, and I'm not just saying that, but anyway, well, I guess we need to get to break. Anything we left out, y'all need to go to Gary Chapman, singer-songwriter. What is the website to the
TakeThisJab.com?
And
TakeThisJab.com. Yeah.
Buy all the merch. You got some cool merch, T-shirts, coffee mugs.
We got it all.
Got it
Get
all.
yourself a mask. Get on a plane. Start a fight.
I'm with you on that, man. We like that gal the other day. You know, she spit on that dude, man.
That was bizarre. That lady lost her mind. That's how you know you're on the right side.
Right.
If when you're expressing your views, you lose your sanity, you're on the wrong side.
Right. Yep, I'm with you.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Gary, man, we always appreciate you. No doubt about it. Keep up with you, and y'all stay safe. Y'all have a good New Year's, man.
We'll do it. Love you guys. Happy New Year. We'll
Happy
talk
New
next
Year.
year.
All right,
Happy New Year.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.